Think we're there. Right, okay.
Right, and that's it. Just like that. Off we go.
Interesting things said by uninteresting people. Show hosted by Ben and Tom. Interesting things said by uninteresting people.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Interesting Things Said by Uninteresting People. It is a podcast where we talk about various different things that the two of us have just stumbled across, really. I mean, it's not even intentional, is it?
It's not.
It's whatever we've bumbled
off the
into.
Cuff, bumble, babble.
Absolute
bollocks. That me and Ben chat about.
My name's Ben, as always. I'm joined by the far more festive half of the podcast. Tom, how are you, mate?
Good, man. Feeling festive as ever.
Yeah. Have you been getting into the Christmas spirit, into the Christmas mood?
Do you know what? I really haven't like this year, and I think it's because we were talking. We've already done this podcast, like we said before.
As always.
But just moved house, just got a new job, and just done some freelance stuff recently. So everything's just been so.
Have you also changed your name? Have you got a new passport?
No, I haven't done any of that. Luckily,
you know, we're going full born.
Yeah,
I've moved. I'm a different person.
I am no longer Tom. So yeah, just been like so busy. Everything's been crazy. Work's been crazy with some like developments there as well. So like everything has just been mad. So I haven't really got into Christmas tree. We haven't got a Christmas tree or anything.
Wow, dude. I mean, you could be forgiven that. There's a couple of plants around. You could string some LEDs.
Do you have a
on.
Christmas tree up?
We do actually have a Christmas
I bet
tree.
you've got a real one.
We do have a real one,
Yeah,
actually.
man, knew it. Of course you do.
Oh man, we see the thing is, I've got a little burner to burn the waste in afterwards as well now this year,
Right.
so I feel like I'm allowed because then
Yeah.
it's basically buying free firewood. That's how I've justified it to myself.
Fair enough.
But yeah, we decorated it last weekend because. Right, I'm going to take a step back and bore everyone to tears with this.
That's fine. That's what people come here for.
This is yeah. It's because I normally don't like to decorate too early in the month because I refuse to spend a 12th of my entire life in Christmas. Right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
No,
What's that? 8.25% or what? You know.
Yeah.
I refuse to spend that just in Christmas. That's too much. So normally, a couple of weeks in, that's when I get the decorating done.
Sure.
This year we've realised with a bit of foresight we haven't got 3 weekends. Right, we'll get it all. We'll get it all up. So it's up. It's the first time for us in our place. It looks great. Got all the lights on. We've got those old school multicoloured. I don't know if I think you've seen these lights last year. Because I remember recording maybe where they're very old school quality street wrapper colour. Like pinks and green.
Yeah,
love them. But they evoke a sense of childhood wonder in me and Claire. Yeah, it's great. And then we set it all up. And the next day, they just gone off.
Oh, no.
Like, you bastard. Because we also had some white lights interweaved around it. So now, Have got to unpick all of those lights and reapply them with a new set. Because it's the old ones where you have to take out each bulb to see which one's faulty. I've done that. It must be 2 bulbs that are faulty, so I've got no chance of...
Oh, mate. I don't know how you'd have the patience.
I don't.
Straight in the bin.
Get
me some new ones.
That's basically what's going to happen. Yeah. So we've got some new ones on the way. This is obviously the most interesting thing that we've ever talked about. Yeah. But it's wound me up, to be honest. Yeah.
Mate, do you ever think that explaining Christmas to, say, aliens would be really difficult? Like, once a year we put a tree in the house. That thing that grows outside, we pop it in the house. Then we jazz it. And then we jazz it up while it dies.
Yeah. Oh man.
And then we put presents under it.
Yeah, it is.
Why'd you do
weird,
that?
isn't it?
We just do.
It's just
a thing.
Oh man.
It's something to do with religion, but it's probably not really tied to Christianity massively.
Yeah, no one really remembers anymore.
It's just a thing.
I heard the best description once of flowers, saying, "Why do you cut off flower genitals and give them to each other?"
Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it?
It is
flower
weird.
genitals and jazzing up a dying tree.
Yeah, that's basically what it's about, mate. Yeah.
That is awful.
Oh.
Have you done all your Christmas shopping?
I've done most of it. I have done most of it,
That is
actually.
really good. I've not done much at all.
Do you know what? Do you know this is going to sound the saddest thing in the world? But my wife and I now have a spreadsheet that we share.
Fuck
right.
Yeah.
And it is. It really. It's no.
Is
you,
it a Google
laugh,
sheet?
You
So
laugh.
you can-
It is a Google
so you can
sheet.
share
We
it.
can share absolutely. Yeah. Right. And all it is, it's like birthday. We've only just started doing this. I should point out, but it's amazed me that we haven't done it before. Right.
Right.
It's like birthday 2019, Christmas 2019, and then
Yeah.
next year, and obviously going on. And it's just like what we've bought people,
Okay.
so that we don't buy them the same thing again.
Right.
Which sounds really stupid,
No,
but
no.
you can see if there's
If you're out and about and it's like, oh, I'll grab that.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But then on like a separate sheet, it's also got ideas, which where we just play. And you know what, dude? You laugh. Like, I know it sounds like a really cold, really calculated idea. Honestly, when you come to that, when you're going, oh, what am I going to buy Tom for Christmas?
Yeah.
And then you come to that spreadsheet and you've got 3 ideas you've had through the year. And you're like, oh yeah, thanks,
Ideal.
past Ben. Brilliant. Yeah, I'll just get that. That's cool.
Thanks, Google Sheet.
Cheers,
saved us again.
Auto-populate gifts.
This podcast brought to you by Google G
Google
Suite.
Sheets. Please, Google. Go on. Give us some of that. Give us
You've
some of
got
that Google
so much
Sheets
money and we've got so little.
Yeah, mate. How about you? What's
I've done Callie's birthday is like 4 days before Christmas, so that always adds up the expense. But it's a 1 a year expense, if you know what I mean, because there's no birthday in the meantime.
That's
it's just once a year.
That's handy, mate. Yeah.
Mate, this is the first year we've set limits on what we spend on each other, because it's really easy just to keep going.
Sure.
Because 1 year I bought it for Callie. 1 year I bought the Switch.
I see.
For Callie.
Smart.
Yeah, smart. And I bought, obviously, this was the point when they were like, I don't know, 320 quid.
Sure, yeah.
And like, then I was like, well, she's going to need some games. I was like, she's going to need some games.
So I bought her.
So yeah, we were like pushing, I was like pushing 400 quid. I was like, well, I've got to stop. I've got to stop.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, we've got a limit now. So it's 100 quid for birthdays, 50 quid for Christmas.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which is good.
You know what, mate? That is the first sign of homeowner responsibility, that is.
Dude, mate, I had such a homeowner. Right, this is boring. We'll do boring stuff first.
Mate, it's all boring. It's boring all the way through. Don't worry.
I had such a homeowner afternoon today because I finished like after this. I came home. I sorted out the gas and electricity, switched over to bulb.
Oh, cool.
This isn't sponsored by
Please,
bulb,
please.
but it's 100% renewable on electricity. 10% on gas, which is better than, and it's cheaper than what we're on. So like, why wouldn't we go for it? So we're on that.
Yeah,
it's like 50 quid a month, I think, for gas and electricity, which seems all right.
Sure.
Well, it says like estimated, so I'm sure it'll be around that sort of price. And then I got contents insurance and buildings insurance.
Oh man,
for a mean £10 a month, which I thought was pretty good.
That is decent. Yeah,
pretty good for like up to £1 million. £1 million of damage. They would have to like destroy my house 4 times. Do you know what I mean? Like, how can they make that much damage?
Yeah, sure. Oh wow. Okay.
So
have irradiated the entire town. Yeah, fair enough.
That's good. I paid our mortgage broker his broker fee.
Oh man,
and
that's a sting.
And I cancelled all of our like direct debits for our old flat.
Oh man.
And mate, that was a good like 2 hours of like solid homework.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
so I did that.
How did you reward yourself afterwards? Did you just sit still for a couple of hours?
I did. I treated myself by shutting my eyes.
I just stopped. Have you? Oh man, this won't make any sense if you haven't seen it. But have you watched James Acaster's Repertoire series? We're not going to get into it, but James Acaster is weird. I think he's very funny. If anyone's looking for something to watch, some stand-up, he did a series of 4 stand-up gigs called Repertoire. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's really good. That's a genuine Ben to Tom recommendation. I think you'd find it really funny. Ben's Rex.
Wow.
And one of the things he just says when you go to bed, shout, "No more jobs!" Like, because you finished your jobs for the day. It's all played up as being a bit surreal. Never a truer word has been said. You get to the point in your life where you get into bed and you're like, oh, thank God, that's done.
Yeah.
I just can go to sleep now.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I had a similar, because I was planning this lesson at 11:10 last night. I was like, I went to bed after that. I was still thinking about it. I was like, I can't do anything in bed.
Yeah.
So I was just trying my best to like switch off, but it was awful.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, it can really grasp you sometimes when you've got loads of shit on.
Oh. I wanted to ask you, talking of Christmas and vaguely and things like that, what do you think of Christmas markets?
I'm not a big fan of them, but I like them. But I wouldn't like go to one. I wouldn't be like, let's nip over, which is funny because we've been to like Braunton one pretty much every year because Callie's always had a dance there.
Yep, absolutely.
But every time I've walked around it, the only thing I want to buy is like a big old hot dog. And that's it. I've never seen anything there that I've thought, that's nice.
This is completely unplanned, but I feel exactly the same.
No,
that's why I wanted to bring it up.
They don't really do it for me.
I said to Claire after we'd been, because we went to...
Why do we go?
Well, yeah, no, well, not why do we... Well, yeah, because we saw a couple of
get
people.
out of it?
It was a nice time out with a couple of our friends. And
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
I like that bit of it.
Yeah, but honestly, it's like I wouldn't go shopping for these crafty things. No, like I'm one of these people who will go shopping if I need something to buy.
Yeah.
I'll go, right, I need to buy a necklace made
Yeah.
out of compressed toilet paper.
Yeah.
Fine. That's exactly what I can go to a craft market and find. Find what I'm
no
looking
problem.
for. But just to wander around, you kind of go, that's nice
Mate,
to look at.
Sign me up for the big old hot dog and a thing of mulled wine.
Yeah, the
I'm
local
there.
cider, local brewery.
I'm in there. Just go for it. But I ain't picking up people's presents there.
It's weird.
I don't know. I can't. I don't really get into them, mate. My brother really likes them weirdly. He texts me like, "You going to Broughton Market?" It's like, probably not. Like, unless
Matt's just a connoisseur of various different.
Mate, he loves it, but no, not a big fan.
No, fair enough.
No.
Dude, this whole episode is a little bit kind of broken. I think we're just into the Christmas lull, aren't we? I think we've
It's
both.
a crimbo lull.
So we've got some various random different things to talk about.
Let's get on to topic number one.
Topic number one, which should come first, to just minimise the amount of time that we are late to talk about this.
Yeah.
What is the deal with the Cybertruck?
What is the deal with the Cybertruck?
Being as Elon Musk is like maybe disgraced patron saint of the podcast.
Yeah, disgraced. I don't know. My first impression of it was like, it looks weird, and I couldn't see myself ever getting one. Like, I don't need a truck anyway, so I wouldn't get one.
Sure, that's
and
fair,
it is like
yeah.
a truck, isn't it? It's like if you buy a truck, you need a truck. You don't. Do you buy a truck because you want a truck? I don't know. Some people might.
If you've got a small knob, maybe you
Maybe,
might need to buy a truck to hurtle around in. I don't know.
I think it's a very American thing to own a truck.
Yeah,
big roads,
sure.
big places. Not down in this small town in Devon.
Yeah.
We don't need trucks unless you're a gardener.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
like I don't know, some sort of builder.
It seems a bit incongruous, doesn't it? Like the people in America who are going to use it, like, because you're right.
Yeah.
You have people carrying planks and tools
Yeah.
and, a lot of people in America.
Home Depot, people,
Exactly.
enthusiasts.
Well, it is. I mean, it's easy to forget that a lot of Americans live a very rural life. You don't get to see it because it's not on the TV. It's not the coastal East Coast, West Coast. But Middle America, a lot of people are repairing the side of their house because it's fallen down or whatever.
Yeah.
So
It's
they
been
need
family home for years.
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
sort of stuff.
So I guess, but then those kind of people, I can't
On a
see...
big old Ford.
I can't see
Fueled her
them
up.
driving the Cybertruck around.
I don't know. What's your impression of the design? Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's not cool?
I think it's ugly.
Yeah.
That's for me.
I think it's ugly. I think it's smart because I think I'm regurgitating things I've read online at this point. But someone made a really good point, is saying like Tesla has no like stake in that pickup market, that truck market. They don't make a truck, and to like break into it in America is really hard, like because it's like dominated by Ford and Dodge and all these like really classic sort of truck makers. So the only way to make some sort of a dent to do something completely different. And bring in more people, which is why I think some of like my Twitter was on fire with people like pre-ordering it, because like I follow all these tech people.
Okay,
but I think they're basically bringing a new customer base with them.
Okay.
Like how the Wii opened up gaming for like old people.
Yeah, sure.
I kind of think a bit of that's going on. Bringing lots of people to the idea of owning a truck, and then trying to convince other people to do that. Do you see it wasn't viral, but they did a video of the Cybertruck pulling a Ford, like the most popular Ford truck, up a hill while they're both going at it full pelt.
Really? No,
so
I
it's
didn't
more
see
powerful
this.
than that, which is like incredible.
Yeah, well, I can believe that. I mean, because
Yeah.
those electric motors in the Tesla,
they're
they're
incredible.
rapid.
Yeah.
I mean, there's because there's no gearing, nothing.
Exactly,
It's
so it
just
goes
on.
up. Yeah,
it's just on or off. You know?
Exactly.
I mean, I guess it's just. I understand, right? I understand that you can make a bold statement on design to engage people, good or bad. You can get, but it seems like a one too far. Like you look at how classic the Roadster looks.
Yeah, looks,
Absolute classic design of standard design.
That's like a Porsche and Ferrari mashed into one.
Yeah. So to then go, I mean, if anything, I know the timeline hasn't worked like this, so maybe this would never have worked. But I'd be expecting the weird Back to the Future polygon style design for the Roadster.
Yeah, for like the supercar sort of thing.
Yeah, and then something more traditional looking, like with an open back.
Yeah,
maybe for the truck.
Maybe
it just seems weird.
Maybe it's to do with like the aerodynamic-y sort of thing as well. Like this.
Yeah.
I guess a truck doesn't need to be quite as aerodynamic because it's a truck. It doesn't need to go fast. Although I think it does go really quick as well.
Yeah.
Apparently, mate, it's huge as well. Like, it doesn't really show off its size. I watched quite a lot of videos on it.
I'll be honest.
It's huge.
When I first heard about the Cybertruck, and I'd also seen pictures of it, I genuinely thought I was looking at two different things, or I was reading about two different things.
Yeah.
I thought the Cybertruck, the picture was a new car that they were bringing out, like a concept car, and that I'd yet to see what the truck looked like.
Yeah.
And then I saw with also the video and things, and you go, oh right, no, that is it.
Yeah.
You're right, man. It looks much smaller than it is.
In my eyes, it looks like a film prop. It looks like, Total Recall, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
It was picked straight out of there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't buy the idea of, it's bold, it's a very brave design, it's genius to make it look like this.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, anything could be, in that sense, anything could be genius by being shit.
Yeah,
that's going a bit far.
But
you can have a music track with Vuvuzela right the way through it.
Yeah.
And if it was by a big enough artist, you'd still get people spending money on it.
Yeah, if Radiohead put it out, they'd be like, wow.
Yeah, and people would still talk about it.
Yeah.
But it would still be a shitty piece of music.
Yeah. Man, this is the thing. I think like the fact that we're even talking about it now kind of shows that whatever they've done, good or bad, has worked to a degree.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't pretend that I'm smart enough to understand why they've made it look like that. I'm sure they've run the numbers and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't know, man. That people were raving about it, and it was like a love or hate. In my opinion, I don't like the way it looks. I think it's a horrible looking thing.
Sure.
But I can see why people were jazzed about it.
Yeah.
It's a Tesla. It's another Tesla, and people like Teslas.
I suppose nothing ever changes if you don't make some bold leaps.
Exactly.
Either.
If it turns out to be like wildly popular, then the other people will start copying it.
And also, maybe, and I know this is what, but it's like when a phone comes out or when a new phone comes out, it might not have all the newest features really seated in, really bedded in properly.
Yeah.
But the next one will.
Yeah.
Or the one after that will. Or the competitor will.
They've got to start. It's got to be that starting point, doesn't there?
Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. Mate, on a topic of electric, would you go electric?
In a car?
Yeah.
Funny you should ask that, actually, because obviously for the day job, we drive around a lot in a van.
Yeah.
And the van is looking like it needs replacing at the minute, right? And we're thinking the diesel emissions are going to be taxed to hell soon. They're going to get rid of.
Mate,
diesels.
my diesel car's taxed quite heavily because it's 2.2 litre, so it's like 170 quid.
See, that's
every 6 months or a year or something like that. It's horrible.
I mean, so we're in the position where we're thinking, well, what do we do? Do we get another diesel van and just ride it out and then let it depreciate really heavily, so it lose all its value towards the end, because in 10 years' time we're going to have to get rid of diesel anyway. Or do we lease something? And then we started looking at electric vans. Yeah. And at the moment they're just not good enough. They just don't have the range. Yeah. I think VW have got a camper that's going to have about 500 kilometers range on it.
That's pretty good.
Which is pretty good. We should do us for a day. Yeah. But because the trouble is, at the minute, it's the length of time it takes to charge them. Yeah, and people say, "Oh, there's charging points springing up everywhere." It's like, yeah, there are. At the minute, you rock up to a petrol station and you're stuck behind someone. You go, "I'll sit and just stare at my phone for 2 minutes while they fill up, and then I'll be on the forecourt." If it takes an hour to charge your car up, you get there behind someone, you're waiting an hour for them to charge it.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
And then an hour for you to charge it.
Yeah, because I know some of the cars, like the Tesla ones, can charge like 80% in half an hour, which is stunning.
It's really good,
but that's still half an hour wait.
Yeah, well, and like I say, you get behind one person, that's an hour wait. Yeah. You're third in line, that's an hour and a half wait. And all of a sudden, for a business, it just stacks up.
Time is money.
For home use, much more maybe.
Yeah.
Because you can plan your journey a lot better, I guess. You can just park at home, obviously charge it at home. Yeah, yeah. So you never leave on an empty tank.
No, definitely not.
I don't know, man. What do you think?
My plan, if I ever were to have a plan with cars, is to run my current diesel into the ground. Because I really like my car. I'm not really into cars, but I like it. And I don't want it to I can't see myself ever buying a new one. if I can make that car last another like 5 years or 10 years would be amazing.
Sure,
please.
yeah, please.
I don't think it will. It'll probably last another 5 years or so before it's like really gone.
Yeah.
I would like to seriously consider one.
Okay.
Because I don't drive massive distances. I drive to London sometimes, like very occasionally.
Yeah.
But I think for 9 times out of 10, I would happily go for an electric car. But I'd love to get a Tesla or something, but it's like 30k for like a.
Oof, yeah.
Mate, when it's like that, it's like no, I would never buy a brand new car anyway. And I think when you buy a pre-owned like diesel or something like that, I'd be much more inclined to trust that, because like if you buy a pre-owned rechargeable, you're like, oh, how much juice is left?
Yeah, how's the battery working? Yeah.
Man, it's the only thing I still think that electric just can't compete with yet.
Sure.
Is the splash and dash. It is the refuel go. You could go technically forever on diesel if you if you could stop every. And how long does it take to fill up? Really, like 2 to 3 minutes. If you could just put it in,
absolutely, yeah.
and not pay, for instance, just go.
Do you want to just dash off?
Yeah. Or 5 minutes.
If you don't
to top
pay,
up.
it's quicker. Yeah.
And it's never gonna like, if you've got a good one, I guess it can keep on going and going and going.
Yeah, that's true enough, man. They last for a lot. Your fuel tank doesn't stop accepting fuel at some point.
Exactly. Yeah. What how much diesel do you get for an average a day then? If you...
I couldn't tell you in terms of diesel, but in terms of mileage, I mean, we do. I mean, on busy day we'll do 150. We're pushing up to a couple hundred miles on the biggest days.
Yeah,
because we cover a large area driving around. So some days it'll be 30 miles.
Yeah.
But
so what's the capacity on like electric van at the moment?
Electric van at the moment, it's only about. I do know this
because some cars are pretty good. Like I think the Model X can get like 600 miles or something insane like that.
Yeah, it's not that good. I'm prepared to be well wrong on this. I know. I know the last time we looked, it was only like it was about 150, 200 miles.
Yeah, it's
maybe.
not quite. And
it's
not quite enough,
I don't know. I've just said that's what we do on a busy day, but it's not good, and we need like a headroom in the.
Mate, I was going to say around here as well. Like I don't know any. Is there any petrol stations about that will have a top up electric?
I think there's a couple. Yeah,
there's one at Asda.
Yeah,
on the actual car park, not at the actual thing.
No, there are. They are around. Yeah.
I guess
I've seen a few. Yeah.
I guess if you buy one, there'll be an app for where the closest. Mate, it's cheap though, isn't it? It's cheaper. To charge up an electric car. I think I remember reading it somewhere as like £5 to £6.
You see, that's
that sort of thing. You can't play with.
Such
£5
a
to £6 in diesel is going to get you fuck all, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's like the old. What have I got in my wallet? That's back when you first learned to drive. Yeah. Oh, I just splash another £5 in there. Go on.
I was such a £5 guy when I first learned to drive. I was like, I'll stick a £5 in. That'll get me to Braunton.
Yeah,
and back. Coming home as it conks out. Thank God. But no, man, I like.
I should say I like the idea of them.
Yeah,
I'd love to if they work, and say if they work.
Mate, it's the future, definitely.
Yeah.
Everything's turning that way. Every manufacturer now offers some sort of hybrid or electric.
Yeah, and some of them don't look like a silver block of cheese as well.
Yeah, which is nice.
Some of them. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'd love to get one, but not anytime soon.
Oh man,
definitely not.
I might mix things up. I've got a little old documentary to tell you about.
Oh yeah, go on then.
Which
is this an official Ben's Rec?
Well,
Ben's Rec have kind of taken over from Good News because
we haven't had good news.
Just because there isn't any.
Not right now. We should say we're recording on the evening of polling day.
We are, yeah. And so on Friday, we might have amazing news.
We might have amazing news.
We might have.
But we'll let you decide.
Shit news.
We'll let you decide what that. By the time this comes out, we might know whether it's good or bad news.
Dude, the thing that made me think about it is like if, for instance, Tories do get in, at least nothing really is going to change. We've been used to the shit for 10 years. Another 5 years of shit.
There's more shoveling shit. Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
We're used to it now.
Don't, dude. I can't even joke about it. Yeah. Mate, back
to Ben's Rex.
We're not getting into that. So I have a recommendation of a documentary, and this is again. Sometimes I recommend shit on this podcast that I know will just appeal to our listening base of 5 people. This is a genuine. I think you, Tom, will enjoy this. Right?
Okay, let's do it.
Maybe even after we finish recording, stick it on the old Netflix. It's on Netflix. It's called Tell Me Who I Am.
Right.
And I don't know why it's not being pushed so much. I only heard about this very, very randomly. it's not being advertised heavily on Netflix at all, but it's amazing. It's intense. I will get around to telling you what it's about, but it's very. You have to be in the right frame of mind to watch it because it's almost a difficult sort of watch. Right. I'm just going to pause here because there are two kind of levels to this. If you want to go into it, ideally, I would say go into it without knowing anything about it.
Right.
Even try and skip. It's only an hour and a half long. Okay. Yeah. It's about two brothers. That's all you would ideally need to know. Right. Just tell me who I am. I'm just going to repeat myself a little bit to give you time. If you're jogging, maybe you can pause this podcast. But now I'll tell you what I knew going into it.
Right.
And it didn't ruin it for me at all.
Okay.
So as long as that sounds fair enough.
For it. Yeah, that sounds fair. I've been pre-warned.
Yeah. And it really didn't spoil it. It doesn't spoil any of the enjoyment of it. Okay. I won't tell you all of what happens, but so it's about two twins.
Right.
Two of them, naturally. British guys they must be 50, they're mid-50s now.
Right. And
this was filmed fairly recently, within the last couple of years or so. It's a recent thing. One brother called Alex and one brother called Marcus. They're identical twins. And when they were 18, 19, Alex had a motorbike accident.
Right.
And he wasn't physically. He was obviously hurt, but he wasn't physically. He's not permanently injured or anything like that. But he hit his head, and it made him lose all of his memory.
Right.
Everything up to that point.
Right.
But the only thing he remembers, the only thing he recognised, is his brother Marcus.
Right.
So he's going, "Oh, Marcus, where am I? What's happened?" He says, "Oh, you've been in hospital and all the rest of it." Then he looks at the woman stood next to him, and he's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm your mum." It's he literally has forgotten.
But he still understands what those what that relation is.
Yeah, he's not back to being a baby. It's not quite like that. But for example, so Marcus is having to tell him everything to fill him in. Gradually over the months, and he says, "I literally had to tell him that's a table. We sit at that." But then there was also stuff where he would say, "What's this?" "Oh, that's a bike." "What do you do?" And he'd put him on it, and then that memory, and he'd be able, and he could ride it.
Yeah.
It's like in a video game where you get your skills back. He goes, "If I sat on the bike and I could ride down the drive," he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm doing it. I know what I'm doing." Even little things like that must have been so weird. So Alex is watching TV. He's obviously recuperating. He's watching a lot of TV. So he's seeing a lot of families on the TV, and he starts asking Marcus about deeper questions, about like the family. And so do we have we've got a family. Yeah, they live in fairly affluent family. They live in a pretty big old house.
Yeah,
they've got like an outbuilding to themselves. The mum and their dad, and I don't think they had any other siblings. I don't think. No, it's just the two of them. And they live in the home county somewhere, very, very kind of well off. So they're saying, "Why do we used to go on holiday, for example?" And Marcus is going, "Yeah, we used to go to the beach. Yeah, sure. Here's a photo of us on the beach. That's cool." And then he's having to reintroduce him to his friends, so they'd be outside parties. Like, right, the guy with the curly hair, that's Sam. He's all right. He's a bit weird. This is your girlfriend. She's going to say this to you. He's making the joke that he lost his virginity to the same girl twice. Because it's really. And they go, his girlfriend had no idea there was anything wrong.
Right.
Because Marcus really filled him in, really prepped him.
Yeah.
So that all goes on. They get older and what have you. And then in about their mid-20s, maybe a bit later, maybe it was early 30s. Anyway, their dad dies.
Right.
And he was quite a hard man, quite a difficult man, And after he dies, Marcus just isn't upset, Alex says. He's like, he just seemed really weird because he didn't cry. I felt really tearful. Maybe he was a bit more in touch with his emotions. But Marcus just isn't. He goes, "No, don't worry, just let me grieve. I'll grieve my own way."
Yeah.
And they get on with their lives. And then maybe a couple of years later, 2, 3, maybe a little bit longer later, their mum dies as well. And again, Marcus just isn't upset.
Yeah.
And Alex the same sort of thing, and he's like, "No, I'm just let's carry on, let's move on," kind of thing. Then they start emptying the house.
Right.
Now, bearing in mind, the two brothers have lived in this little outhouse for all these years, They've never been given a key.
Right.
They've never been allowed into the house really on their own when there's no one else there.
Right.
So they start emptying it out, and they find a lot of weird shit
Oh no.
in their mum's possessions, right? And amongst them, they find a photo of the two of them as little boys.
Yeah.
They're naked, with the heads cut off the photo. And Alex starts going, "What is this?
Yeah.
What's going on?" And it turns out that, and again, this is not spoiled. It turns out that Marcus has been lying to him about everything about their life.
Yeah.
And they hadn't had an ideal, nice childhood upbringing.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it too lightly. It was fucking horrible.
Oh no.
Dude. And that's I won't say too much more because that's you can know that going in.
Yeah.
And it does not spoil it in any way.
Oh no.
So
How many episodes are there?
Just one. It's
Just
an hour and a half. Yeah, hour and a half
Shit.
episode, hour and a half documentary. So the first third is from Alex's point of view.
Yeah.
Then the second third is from Marcus's point of view. It's not stylistically really quite like that, but it's
Right.
the first third focuses on Alex, second third focuses on Marcus, and then the third, the final part, is where the two of them talk together about it.
It's a true story.
This is 100% true. This
Man.
happened. It's a documentary.
Mate, if it's true, it makes it so much more like, oh, fuck.
yeah. Because they haven't fallen out exactly.
Yeah.
They've been talking to each other. They're both grown up. They've got families. Like I said, they're mid-50s now. They're men. They're grown men. But there's a few things that Marcus has never talked to Alex about that he just won't give him the details about. But then they do, and they talk about these things on the documentary.
I'm signed up.
Right,
I'm
what can
ready.
I say? I really think you do. I'll tell you, it might be a bit, I guess, triggering for people is the word. It might be a bit difficult to watch for people. It's very intense, but it's fantastic. Called "Tell Me Who I Am." It's on Netflix. It just spend an hour and a half of your life, stick it on, but you've got to watch it.
Yeah.
You have to sit down to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe it hasn't had more. Maybe it has, and I haven't seen it, but I can't believe it hasn't had more push.
Yeah.
From Netflix, because
is it like 18 sort of thing? Was that PG-13 or is it pre?
I don't know actually. No, I wouldn't say it. I'd say it would be at least 15.
That's weird because they're usually quite. They're pushed, making murder, things like that. They're quite heavily pushed.
Yeah, that's a good point. So maybe it isn't that. I don't know whether it's just because it's a smaller documentary. The guys have written a book about this story before, and now this is a new. It's been made into a documentary to tell the story and finish it off. Because, like I say, they talk about some things that they haven't discussed, and it's very emotional. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, man. I mean, towards the end, I was tearing up. It's very, very intense, very emotional bit.
And me and Kat have been thinking about we need to watch something because we haven't watched anything like a series or any film together in like such a long time.
Sure, okay.
So we need to. I might suggest that. That sounds good.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
It's a harrowing one.
It is. So yeah, that's
That's
man.
Ben's Rex.
I wanted to bring that up at least because it's.
Definitely.
Woo, it's left an impact on me. It's I've been telling everyone about this. It's so definitely Okay, that's.
Awesome.
I'll say no more, but please watch it. It's great.
Oh man, what was next on our little list?
Did you want to follow up on your old? Well, partly on the old YouTube front,
Yeah.
But yeah, with the video that has made you famous.
It really hasn't. I just got the back in the uptick of views, which is good. I will talk a little bit about the old iPhone 11. We're kind of switching gears here a little bit, but I kind of make an assumption here. Have you seen my video on it?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have. Yeah.
So, mate, the iPhone 11 is such a good phone. It's just a really good phone, and there's like kind of repeating what I said in the review a little bit. There's nothing like there's some flaws of it. So the flaws would be the screen is like 820p, so it's just over 720. You wouldn't notice if you were like if you. I'm going to pass Ben my phone now. If you look at that, as an average sort of customer person, would you look at that and go, it's not good enough?
Not quite high. No, dude, mate, it looks. It does look fantastic.
You wouldn't be able to tell, would you? At all?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look close enough, and if you've got like, for instance, if you compare it to your phone, you can see.
I will now.
You can just about see that it's not quite as sharp.
I mean,
but yeah, dude, the fact that you're staring at it now, and going, just says
that 100%
says everything, right?
I mean, just not to derail the conversation, but does that mean that we're at the point where it doesn't matter anymore going any higher?
I kind of think, as phones currently are, as like their form is, as these kind of slabs of technology, I think the quad HD screens, which you get on like the Note stuff, is as good as they need to get. The only thing I think which could be improved now is like the high refresh rate.
Yeah,
so those things are really nice, really, really nice. I think that's where they'll go now.
Sure.
I can't imagine we'll get 4K screens on phones. There are some that do that, but there's really no point.
Yeah,
because you can't.
Why?
When you get to quad HD, it's so hard to see like pixels at that point anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact, dude, it's kind of case in point. The fact that you were staring at it then, like with your Ben's got Pixel 3 and staring next to it and going, is like case in point. It as a phone, it does everything that 80 to 90% of people would want a phone to do. It does it flawlessly.
Yeah.
The battery life is absolutely insane. So I've been on it. Obviously, took it off charge this morning. I'm on 77%.
That's crazy.
I've been on it like regular amounts. I haven't, I don't do anything crazy with my phone. I'm not using it all the time.
I'm on 40%.
Yeah.
I mean, I had some heavy use this morning.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
that's mental.
Something like that, is just I think the battery life really is the shining star of it. It's unbelievably good. Like I'll probably go to bed with like, I don't know, between 60 and 70%.
So 9 times stroking it, does it?
Yeah.
Like, oh yes.
9 times out of 10, I won't charge it I'll charge it every other night because I just don't need to. It feels almost silly putting it on just because. There's no point. The cameras are really good. Like they're really good in the iPhone 11. They're back up to the standard that Android got to, like the Pixels. I'd say that's just as good as the Pixel. Pixel probably still outclasses it just.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know you're a fan of like the Pixel camera.
Yeah,
at least.
Pixel camera's great. The wide angle on it's really cool. I'm really, like I said in the review, really happy they went with a wide angle rather than a zoom. Because wide angles are just more fun.
Yeah.
I think. I didn't say this in the review, but like mostly phones have that zoom function to take the portrait effect, right?
Sure.
But the Pixel does the best portrait effect, and it doesn't have that zoom. Like the Pixel 3 doesn't have a zoom.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't need it. You just need that computational. Sort of thing, and phones are catching up with that now. Like Apple can do that sort of stuff now, and phones aren't good at capturing depth. Like they're good at. This is why I prefer the wide angle because, like, when you've got a real camera, you can really get a sense of depth. Things blur out beautifully, and that's what portrait mode tries to emulate. But it's doing it through, like software rather than actually. It can't. The lens just isn't big enough to get that effect of the light pouring in and stuff. But phones are really good at capturing color and shape.
Okay.
Because they're not depthy. They're color captures, interesting shapes and color, and people and things like that. They're really good at capturing it. So having a wide, in my eyes, makes complete sense because wide just captures more color and shape.
Yeah.
Phones can't do depth very well at the moment.
Sure.
They will do. They will. They'll get to that point where you won't be able to tell. And 9 times out of 10, if you show someone a portrait style photo, they'll be like, oh. It's like a real camera,
nice DSLR,
So I think a wide angle is the right move. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
The screen, like you said, is the only point where it's not so good, but it's hard to tell. The only thing I think is sad on the screen is the actual. Mate, this is a first world complaint, but the bezel on it is actually quite big. That circles around it.
You say that. So like the edge of where it isn't screen around the edge of the handset. Yeah.
Compared to the iPhone 10, which came out like 2 years ago now. The iPhone 10 is right to the edge, and the 10s is right to the edge.
So why is that? Why do you think they've gone backwards almost like that?
Well, it's because it's actually the screen technology. So, like, this is an LCD screen, and an LCD screen can't like they're not quite as flexible. Okay. So, like, this is vaguely interesting. So, the iPhone 10R and the iPhone 11 it's called like a liquid retina display. That's what they call it. It's the marketing jargon. But
the jargon.
it's actually a square screen, despite it having corners. Yeah. They just dim the pixels to give that rounding effect.
Really?
Yeah, and the rest is covered. So the bezel is actually just because it's a square. and that they're dimming out those. It's a really interesting way of getting that effect.
Yeah. Now that you've mentioned it, I suppose that makes perfect sense as well. I would never have suspected that, but
so,
okay.
You know, Apple have done it really well. You cannot tell. Like, you know, you could get in right close. But it's actually, they dim the pixels out towards the edge to give it that proper curve.
Yeah, yeah.
Really smart. And OLED panels can be like bent and, you know, curved or whatever. They fold in half nowadays, you know, so they don't need to do it for that. But to get that technology on here for cheap, that's how they, you know, I say for cheap, it probably took millions in research and development to get that to work. But
that's why they need to make their money back with MacBooks.
Yeah, definitely. But mate, like I said, it's for 9 out of 10, but like 85% of people.
Yeah.
And myself included, if I wasn't reviewing tech, I've said this loads of times before, if I wasn't reviewing tech, I would not be replacing this anytime soon.
Yeah, sure.
I would replace it when it dies.
Yeah.
And I honestly think if I wasn't reviewing tech, I'd still be on my iPhone 7 Plus.
Okay.
And be happy with it because I loved that phone. Like I took it, we went to Hong Kong and I just got it then, like I think the iPhone 7 Plus, and it was like, it blew my mind. I was like, wow, it's amazing. You know, like the battery was great and it was like doing everything I wanted it to do and I was really happy with it. I don't think I would have changed from that.
It is a bit of a curse, isn't it? Finding out more about something, whatever it is, because then you start seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
You start seeing the problems with it everywhere, or where it's done badly or done well, or
but mate, like I say, I can forget that it's like I'm quoting here. It's the cheaper iPhone. You can forget it completely. That does not feel like a cheap phone. It's got money making points in it.
Yeah.
It's got a big old bezel. You know, I'm saying that in terms of 2019 standards. The bezel is large. The notch is still there. A lot of people don't like that. But mate, honestly, most of it just fades away because it's such a good phone.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing left wanting here at all.
Don't you feel as well like
cool colours too?
Very cool. I know we're a fan of the pastels.
Yeah.
Don't you find like it's like when you watch a film on a phone, for example, you watch a video on a very small screen, or if you like when people watch it on like Apple Watches when you're watching movies, cinema the way it's intended, you know, you stop seeing that it's a small screen, because you're absorbed, but you know what I mean, like that,
engrossed,
where you're watching it, you think okay, and you stop, or when we had our small TV when we first moved in, you stop being aware of it, or if you're watching a film on a laptop. So maybe that's the same thing with using the phone generally. You stop seeing the bevel and the brow, you know, and you just use it.
Mate, this is exactly it. And like the good thing about having a low res display, if there is anything good about it, is battery life.
Sure,
mate, that phone kills it on battery life, and the screen is obviously part and parcel of that. To have a relatively low resolution display, like the processor in that is insane. Like, and the things it can do, like you showed me that video of the iPhone video stuff.
Yeah, it was David Leach, wasn't it?
David Leach, yeah. Insane what it can do now. And like that process of pushing that little of a screen is just so easy for it.
Yeah.
It's so quick as well. Like I said, mate, I'm already looking at what I need to get next for channel-based stuff.
Sure, yeah.
I'll be sad to say goodbye to the iPhone 11 because it's really very good.
I just want to cover its ears already. It's like, you're never leaving, don't worry, you're never going.
But it's just, man, it's just a really good standard phone for a lot of people. And everyone who buys it, as a listener review, will be happy with it.
Great.
You can't.
It's a pretty solid recommendation, mate. The Bite Review stamp, seal of approval.
It is, mate. It's if you want a new phone and you've had iPhones before, get the iPhone 11.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Mate, I've started saying, I've done this on the channel recently, but I started saying to people in general, it's the best iPhone and this is the best Android phone, because I believe they're two different categories now.
Sure. Okay.
Because like it's hard, but some people in the comments like, should I get this or an iPhone? I'm like, well, do you want an iPhone or do you want an Android phone?
Yeah.
This doesn't compare.
Yeah, sure.
In my eyes, they don't compare anymore. It's
okay.
like, if you want an iPhone, get an iPhone.
Yeah.
And
that's not a quality thing. Like exactly what you say, it's just a fundamentally, they
What
work.
do you prefer?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, what do you prefer thing? It's like Windows or Mac or like tea or coffee. Like, what would you rather have and get that one?
Yeah.
Because you'll be happier with it.
And it's like, yeah, it's weird because but when people say, oh, they're the same, it's like, well, yeah, they are, because they're what am I trying to say? They're the same because of how fundamentally different they are.
Yeah.
It's like going, is an apple the same? I mean, the fruit the same as an orange?
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, they're both good fruit.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
they're both
exactly.
quite tasty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, you eat one like this, you eat the other like this.
I mean, it's the thing is that people are like, oh, it's more expensive than like the best OnePlus 7 Pro. It's like, get that then. If you want that one, get that one. Is there better price phones out there? Oh my god, yeah, of course there is.
Yeah, sure.
You buy a £200 phone now, it can do everything that can do.
Yeah.
But is it the best iPhone right now? Yes.
Yeah. Maybe that's because people's, this is going to get philosophical for a second now, but maybe because we've had good phones for so long that have been able to do, 20 years ago, none of this existed.
Not even close, yeah.
But now we're so blasé about it. We're like, but the level that people want as part of their everyday life is now actually quite a low level. They want to be able to do Facebook on their phone. They want to take some semi-decent looking photos.
Yeah.
Sharp photos. At least that's it.
A photo that looks all right.
Yeah, exactly. They want to be able to use social media on it, watch YouTube, say. Probably a couple of other things, but that's pretty much most people's usage right there. Mm-hmm. And the most basic smartphones now can do that.
Yeah.
So then those people kind of fall away from the herd and go, well, why am I going to spend £800, £900 on a phone when I can spend, like you say, £200 on a phone?
Yeah.
So maybe that's where we're at. You're going to get like the herd that are keeping up with it. I say not herd in a bad way.
Yeah.
But the people who are keeping up with the tech developments, the bleeding edge kind of stuff, it's going to get smaller and smaller.
Yeah, I think it is. Like, there's the biggest selling phones on Amazon, or the top one selling phone on Amazon is always usually a Moto G, which is like £160 phone, which is really good, and it does everything you'd ever want it to do, pretty much. It's not the best in any way, but it's perfectly adequate at doing what most people want it to do.
Mate, I'm a good example of this, to be honest. I mean, I'd like to think I appreciate the developments. But I think we may have said this on the podcast as well, is that when I bought the new phone, because I had to, because I was upgrading, because it was, my old Samsung was absolutely knackered, ran it completely into the ground, got a new Pixel, spent the first week going, oh yeah, great. Yeah. And then I'd start unlocking it and going, why have I just unlocked that? There's no new, it's fundamentally filled the same place in my life that the last phone had.
Yeah, hasn't added anything.
It doesn't do any one bit of it necessarily infinitely better.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
But yeah, mate, this is what's so good, I think, about what's really good about the iPhone 11 and what's really good about like phones in general. If you forget, if it does everything you want it to do straight away, and you forget that you're using it, forget what it is, and I think it's an Apple quote, but they say as long as like the technology gets out of the way, so you can actually do what you want it to do, then it completely succeeds as a product. Like 100%. That product is excellent, and I think they are. But yeah, mate, that's my final thoughts on the iPhone 11. If you've used iPhones before and it's time for upgrading, get an iPhone 11, you'll be happy with it. If you want the cutting edge, get the iPhone 11 Pro, and you'll be over the moon with it. If you like Android phones, stick with Android.
Yeah, don't buy an iPhone.
Mate, I can appreciate both. I really like the Note 10, and I thought the OnePlus this year kicked ass. Like, if I had to pick phone of the year, it'd be OnePlus 7T. It wouldn't be the iPhone 11 because it's still expensive for what it is. Sure. I think it's tough, but OnePlus, they've done such good things. OnePlus have this year. They've been really good. And that's not sponsored.
Not anymore.
They just have done, they've done such good stuff. But yeah, I think if a phone gets out of the way of you doing what you want to do on the phone, then it's a good phone.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, that wraps up my thoughts on the iPhone 11.
Do you want to...
I'll be sad to see it go.
Do you want to go from tech talk to quite low tech talk?
Let's literally go back hundreds of years,
thousands of years, because I've got something else to tell you about, which we talked about a little bit, but not too much.
Excellent, let's do it.
I went blacksmithing.
Dude, where did you go blacksmithing?
So, with a little bit of backstory here, our friend got married, obviously, recently, and I was one of his best men, one of 4 best men. Yeah. That's a bit of a slap in the face, isn't it? That's not just me.
What,
that's
being the 4th best man? Well, you asked last.
Yeah.
Mate, 4, I've been to weddings with 3, and I think I thought that was a lot.
Oh yeah, man.
No,
it's more of an insult. I will, mate.
Yeah, I will. Fuck that guy.
No, it was great. It was great. It was a really cool day. And obviously it was brilliant to be part of it. Yeah. And as a kind of thank you present, our buddy got me. We spent the day. Luke is his name for the purpose of the story. It's not his real name. He got us. He arranged for us to go and do like a 1-day blacksmithing course, right?
Mate, that would, if I was looking for a present for you or something, that would be that sort of
It's
thing.
so right.
Yeah, I'd be like,
the thing is,
course.
do you remember a
fucking
few podcast episodes ago? I had that Ben Rec of Alex Steele's YouTube channel about blacksmithing on there.
Yeah.
I'd had the same conversation with him, and that was where he went, "Oh, I'll
Tuck
log that
one
away."
Yeah.
So that's where it actually came from. We went to a place called Long Dog Smithy.
Yeah,
which is a great name. Long Dog Smithy. It's on the Blackdown Hills, so it's just north of Honiton.
Right.
So from our home point of view, you go up to the motorway and then just straight on, and then in down lanes for another 24 hours, and then eventually you go around a hill 7 times Widdershins, and eventually the gate opens up. And you just drive straight.
Answer these riddles 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the guy there, Tom, it's funny. Yeah, his name was Tom as well. He's maybe just pushing 30 or so. Right. So
just like me,
sounding familiar.
It wasn't me for the
it wasn't
this
no.
podcast.
He, it was just. I don't even know where to start, mate. He was a good guy to talk to. Really, he obviously enjoyed teaching and obviously enjoyed being around strangers for a day. He does like week-long courses. So you have to be good at getting on with people, you know.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind he's quite a political, activisty kind of guy as well.
Right. Fair enough.
It doesn't matter where your politics are. If that's what you're into, you have to be pretty good at keeping the peace with people while you're chatting away, you know. So anyway, he's really good at it, mate. He's got a studio, a workshop on a small holding somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's obviously full of cool gear, you know. I know I love a good workshop full of you know, bits and pieces. And man, he basically took us. He said at the start, you know, what do you want to do? What do you want to make? We landed on making a pair of knives. Luke made one, and I made one. It was one of the most rewarding experiences that I've done in a long time.
Did anyone have like, I want to make a claymore?
No, not quite. Yeah, dude, not quite. I mean, he does run longer. He's made swords. He does run like longer kind of courses for exactly that kind of reason.
Yeah.
I was impressed. Okay, from a very narrow point of view on it, I was impressed that both of us made decent kitchen knives in a day with no skills.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He was patient with like when we were just being a bit shit and we needed to remember what we'd been told. But you know, we got to the point where we were fairly decent at forging the blades out. You grind it down, you know, you get it sharp, and it's when it starts to turn. He at the start, you know, we took photos of the bits of steel we started with.
Yeah, and
he was saying like. He's obviously done this before. He was like, just remember that photo, keep it, you know. Because then when you finish the knife, you look back and it is incredible that you can get something that just is a brick of metal to look like a proper knife, you know. They're bastard sharp because they're made sharp as well. You know, you haven't just run it through a shop, you've made it and it's new, you know. Mine's got a nice Sapelian antler handle,
very nice.
Which is, it's very posh. All polished down, all well. I've showed you a picture of it. Maybe I'll stick a photo. I don't know. It's not. It's like forcing your holiday photo on someone. Who knows? Maybe the thumbnail of this is going to be a picture of the knife. But just forgetting the specifics, so forgetting the exact experience that we had, which I would incidentally recommend.
Yeah.
Anyone, because Luke isn't the most practical person in the world. He'd be the first one to say it. Yeah, and he had a great time. We made some genuinely good stuff, you know. Awesome. Genuinely were able to get... Was
it just the knives you guys made?
Yeah, dude, just the knives. We were there from, I think, about 9 till about 4 with a stock.
Okay, so full day then.
He'd made soup for lunch. We sat there, shot the shit, you know, with a cup of coffee, or endless cups of coffee and soup and bread. It was very cosy, very friendly, very cool. In a broader sense, mate, it was, like I say, it was so rewarding just to make something with your hands. And mate, you can see, look, dude, I blistered myself up actually in a couple of places. Yeah, dude.
Did you cut yourself?
Not cut myself, dude. I nearly banged myself, a fair bit, which wasn't very much fun. But it wasn't dangerous to do. You know, it wasn't difficult like that. It was just hard work.
Yeah.
But good work, you know.
Yeah.
You know when you said about the 2 hours of house jobs that you got done.
Yeah.
That feeling at the end where you go, that was genuine work that needed doing. I had a purpose, I have a goal, and then you get to the end of it.
Out of it.
Yeah, didn't you come out the other end and you go, great, I've achieved something here.
Yeah.
Man, because, you know, we both work quite white-collar sort of jobs, right? You know, it's a lot of computer screens, a lot of sat clicking away.
Sure.
To sit, mate, just to hammer on stuff and to go, and you have to pay attention to it. it's not just blind kind of or
No,
whatever.
no,
I'll
yeah.
whack this for a bit. You have to really be
proper artisan sort of.
yeah.
That's proper talent skill, isn't it?
Yeah, dude. I mean, but to be, it's one of those things where you can achieve something under guidance. You can achieve something decent relatively easily, but at the same time, you feel like you've just creaked open a little door that's full of mastery of it.
Yeah.
Where, you know, he's like, oh, okay, you're struggling with that a little bit. Give it here. I'll just fix that for you. So, and it's effort, and you can see the guy work. You know, and he's like, right, bang, 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 bang. There you go. And it's as if
where it needs to be,
dude, exactly. It's as if he's walking upstairs. You know,
Yeah.
it's that natural for him.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, hey, maybe it's Christmas present time of year.
Yeah.
This guy, I know, again, like with the mushroom foraging, when I was talking about that, you know, lots of places do it.
Yeah.
Tom was saying about how he has people come from up country driving past plenty of Smiths to get to him to come and do this, you know.
Yes.
I know, it is. It's so cool. And he does very well off of it. You know, he's very,
sure he does.
you know, for a young guy who's got something he loves and has made a business out of it with his wife as well, actually. It's just great. I would recommend it for gifts. I'd recommend it for yourself. Whether it's him specifically, obviously a lot of our listenership is local to us. You know, like all four of them.
Yeah.
There's one in Sweden, which, you know, I'm sure there are blacksmiths over there as well.
I'm sure they do.
I would genuinely, just stuff like that, mate. Do you know what I mean? Where just think you will enjoy it. You will have a great time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd enjoy that sort of thing.
I
think you'd have to be pretty specific to that. Nah.
Right? I mean, I think it's just changing someone's attitude from being, well, I don't really see why I would want to specifically do blacksmithing, for example, to being, well, I'll just do whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a day out of my life that I'm going to spend doing something
totally
cool.
Different experience.
Yeah.
It's like for the stag do when we were throwing axes at boards. Like, that's not something I would like.
Yeah.
If I was on my own, like, I'll go and do that for a bit. Like, no. But would I want to do it with some people? Like, fuck yeah.
Exactly. It's the sort of thing where if someone asked, you might say yes.
Yeah.
It's getting it into your head to go, oh, well, I can be the guy who asks. Me.
Yeah. Me.
You know?
It's me.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So yeah, just to say, it's Tom up at Long Dog Smithy is where I went. Yeah, I would recommend it. It was such a good present. I'm so grateful to Luke. It was such a great present.
That's awesome.
And now I've got the Orca because it's, you know, that's you have to
it's
name
a good
your
look
knife.
to it as well.
It
You
looks-
get to design the look of the knife as you went, or was it?
You do. You do. At the start, you know, he's going, what sort of knife would you like to make? And I've recently chipped my old Santoku knife. Like, it's like an Asian style, sort of tall blade.
Right.
How can I describe it? It's quite tall, quite snub-nosed. You know, it's not really got much of a point to it. It looks like a Mr. Man shoe.
Right.
That's pretty much picture that, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah. And so I drew that sort of rough shape, and he was like, oh yeah, we could probably do something like that. Luke's looked a bit more like an old pointy toe slipper, you know, like an old Aladdin style, you know, that sort of shaped blade. Now, so yes, in that sense, we designed what we were doing. In a lot of other ways, though, it was more, it just turned out how we tried our best to get it like that, and then it just turned out how it turned out, you know.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But man, it's weighty, it's meaty, you know, it's got a good weight to it.
Are you using it?
Oh,
currently?
dude, absolutely. Yeah.
It is the knife.
Mate, and that's the other thing, right? That's the other thing about this. There's so many other things. You're not playing around.
Yeah.
You know, we made the handles. You know, we made the blade, made the handles, oiled it all up.
Yeah.
And it's like you have that realization of going, that's not a toy. I haven't made a model of a knife.
Made a tool.
I've made a knife.
Yeah.
Like that works. I mean, and that's just knife, mate. I guess you can make whatever you want.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
I know he does axe making courses, that sort of thing, tool making.
Hatchet.
Hatchet, exactly, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could spend a weekend making a hatchet.
It's nice to take something home with you as well. Like,
yeah.
that's the experience is something you can use.
And then Claire was using it. She's like, "Oh, that's nice and sharp," you know. So if someone else can use it, and I was like, "Yeah, thank you. It really is."
That's amazing.
And dude, that's really all I
nice.
wanted to say about it. I guess
I'm glad
just,
you had a good time. It does sound wicked, in fairness.
mate, next, you know, hey, Christmas is around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I would definitely recommend it. Please, listeners out there,
Go.
please do stuff like this. Even if you don't think you'd like it, you will. I promise you. You really enjoy it.
Come on, David. Come home.
Yeah, go on,
Let's
Dave.
go on the knife trip together.
Yeah, it's good for the soul. My uncle always said, hard work is good for the soul, and it is. It really is. It makes you feel genuinely alive.
Yeah. No, man, that's awesome. Mate,
I think we've reached the end of the list,
I
man.
was going to say, we've just like, my podcast thing is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, an hour.
Oh, look at that.
That is
That's
perfect
absolutely
podcasting
perfect.
time.
I was always worried then that you were going to go, and we're out of memory.
And we're out of battery.
So I guess, we could bring it home. I mean, thanks as always to everyone for listening. If you've got this far, leave a little comment wherever you are. Even if it's just in the car, shout your comment into
Shout
the
it out
dashboard.
aloud now and we'll get it.
Oh, yeah? Thank you. That was really kind. Yeah. Oh, and you too. Yeah, that's a really nice thing to say. That's
not a very nice thing to say about Ben, but I guess if that's what you want to say, I'll pass it on.
Tom, where can people find you?
It's at the old Bite Review on Twitter, but Ben, where can they find you?
I am at Benji Wanlung on all of it. Thanks as always to Tony Thaxton for our themes. Our theme tune.
The themage.
And that's it, mate.
We're done.
I'll see you after Christmas. Happy Christmas, everyone.
Happy Christmas.
Have a great new year.
Ben, if we get the result of Labour, then hooray. And if we don't, well, we're used to the shit now anyway.
Yeah, we'll just keep spooning it in.
Keep calm, carry on.
Oh.
And on that note,
maybe
goodbye.
we'll see you in the apocalyptic 2020.
Yeah.
Bye.